So, I want to say a few words about what we've been doing. Won't go too long, but I want to give you a sense of what the foundation has been up to, and beyond thanking the various people. Mention the new board members. Okay, so if you've been paying attention to current trends, you've probably been thinking about a lot of things. You've been thinking about what AI might do to us in the future, climate change, rising hate speech and intolerance, ongoing threats to democratic institutions, mental health, and an epidemic of loneliness, and not to mention global insecurity and economic upheaval. Yikes. Yeah. Well, philanthropy can't really even pretend to address many of these things. But in many areas, we are leaning in, not just through the Community Foundation, but through all kinds of giving to the community. This evening, I want to talk about our focus on opportunity, equity, and democracy. And I'll do it specifically by talking about what we've been up to, how we're leaning into questions around a more equitable Delaware, empowered young people, sustainable communities, and a strong democracy, and where we're going next. And I'll start here. It's an old saw for me. If you're in the philanthropy business, what you've been thinking about while you're aware of all these challenges, you're thinking about generosity, about strong communities, about problem solving. You're thinking about eudaimonia. Those of you who've heard me speak before have heard me talk about eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is that old Greek word which means happiness, but it really is a happiness of a life well lived and a life of service. And in philanthropy, we are in the eudaimonia business. And the business of eudaimonia remains strong. How is it going? Well, donors, volunteers, advocates, colleagues, and friends continue to work to solve our problems, continue to find ways to work together, no matter our differences. It's difficult to name all the people involved in our work, so let me just pick a few, and I want to focus on a few that are all circling around equitable Delaware and more sustainable communities. Chris Cannon and the Arsh Cannon Fund have been leading the state for over 15 years, providing support for our Latino communities. The Highmark Blueprints program provides millions of dollars every year to support structural needs in the health of Delawareans. Healthy Communities of Delaware, a program many of you may not have heard of, and a unique, truly unique partnership between the University of Delaware, the Delaware State Department of Public Health, and the Delaware Community Foundation, is providing long-term financing and resources to organizations serving the communities with the greatest challenges in the state. The Fund for Women just awarded $250,000 in grants supporting girls and women in the state, the highest total grant dollars in that organization's history. In the year we're just finishing, DCF funds will have awarded over $30 million in grants and scholarships. It's a reflection of the incredible generosity and passion of people in Delaware. And as part of that, we're also honored to manage endowment funds for almost 200 nonprofits in this state. Those funds distribute almost $5 million each year to organizations involved. This museum, the YWCA, Goodwill, West End Neighborhood House, the Theater Company, Christina Cultural Arts Center, to name a few. And we take our responsibility seriously to manage that money well and to support these organizations how we can. It's also worth noting the incredible volunteer hours people are contributing to these efforts. The dozens of grant review committees connected to DCF review hundreds of applications every year. Our Capital Grants Program, the BIPOC Organizations Program, the Fund for Women, the Potter Trust, Youth Philanthropy Boards, and others. And on the topic of empowering youth, I talk about this every year too, but the youth philanthropy programs, now in their 24th year, involve kids from almost every high school in the state, coming together to identify community needs, design a grants program, create an application, and then review the applications and pick the ones they want to make grants to. Some examples from this year: equine therapy through Courageous Hearts here in Sussex County, anti-bullying at Edge for Tomorrow in Newcastle, and child-centered therapy toys at Delaware Guidance Service in Kent County. The 3 programs awarded $52,000 this year. Several of our donor-advised funds contribute to the program every year, and I believe Trudy Thompson is standing back here in one of our important supporters. More on how we're empowering youth. I mentioned scholarships, but to emphasize, this year DCF scholarship funds awarded our highest ever total, $483,000, a testament to the commitment of DCF donors to creating opportunity for the next generation. And turning to racial equity, in April we awarded $250,000 to 18 organizations that are led by and serving people of color. The goal is to strengthen the capacity of these organizations over time. Rodney Street Tennis, the Hispanic American Association of Delaware, Code Purple in Kent County, just to name a few. We've also continued to lean further into questions of the democratic underpinnings of our society and rebuilding community connections. Last fall, we hosted our 5th annual Opportunity Book Talk, that time with Monica Guzman of Braver Angels, talking about her book about radical curiosity, and her book, I Never Thought of It That Way. Incredible book with incredible ideas, and if you didn't join, I urge you to find her book and read it. Over 500 of you participated either in a book circle or by joining our event. And it also led us to release our most recent series of podcasts, this time talking with people in the state about how they work with people with whom they don't agree in their communities. How do they do that effectively? Democratic State Senator Sarah McBride and Republican Representative Brian Shoup talked with me together about how they seek to bridge partisan divides. Wilmington Library Director Jamar Rahman talked about how the library brings people together to hear different ideas. Molly Giordano of the Delaware Art Museum, David Tam of BB Healthcare. The episode that's received a statewide award for Best Podcast involved our friend and longtime scholarship fund holder Don Ward from Sussex County, talking about how divides affect the religious community and how he tries to address that. And if you want a real treat, just a taste of this, catch the 5-minute episode entitled 9 More Ideas, in which each of our guests share one idea that can help us cross divisions. A teaser for that: go have lunch with somebody you don't particularly like. And by the way, circling back to our commitment to empower the next generation, we've also identified our speaker for this fall. Aaron Gruwell has written a few books, but the most recent, called Dear Freedom Rider, speaks to elevating the voice and perspectives of the next generation of leaders. She has for 20 years worked with young people, many of them from backgrounds of poverty, gangs, and violence, and many of them close to dropping out of school. And using the power of storytelling and of writing, the Freedom Riders found their voice and have not only graduated high school, but moved on to higher education, good careers, and leadership in their communities. And since it began, hundreds of kids have gone through the Freedom Riders program. We're excited about this event and their work, and indeed, it's the work of all of us in philanthropy, which is to listen, to connect, and elevate the passions of people who care. You can sign up for a book group and receive copies of the book by going online on our website, because the books are in and we're sending them out. Going into the rest of the year, a few things are going on that's worth sharing with you. For one, the Delaware Journalism Initiative, spearheaded by DCF Vice President for Communications Allison Levine, standing right there. It is getting ready to fully launch, and we're incredibly proud of the work of this project and its trajectory and the crucial role we've been able to play to help make it happen. It has the potential to be a major change agent in the state. Meanwhile, we're talking with other community foundations and national foundations about the critical role we all can play in bridging divides and building stronger infrastructure. You'll hear more about that. And one more note about these issues. In this case, combining sustainable communities and equity again. In the coming months, we'll be launching a new project addressing equity and the environment. We've attracted the attention of a national funder and will be one of 5 cities nationwide to work with communities through an environmental justice lens in this project. More to come. So, more sustainable communities, a more equitable state, empowered young people, a strong democracy, opportunity, equity, democracy. All of our programs seek to create communities where all have meaningful opportunity. All of our programs take the passions and wishes of donors and turn them into stronger communities. And we're proud of the growing success of these. And as we move into 2024 and beyond, we're also looking to increase dramatically the resources available to the state's nonprofits through DCF. We're now 35 years old. Over the next few years, we're planning to build the funds that will be permanently available for all needs in the state, so that not just now, but in 10 years, in 20 years, in 50 years, the people of the state will have a strong, community-centered, community-involved pool of resources to address the changing needs of the time. You'll hear more about our specific plans, but to be clear, our goal is a state where there's real opportunity for all, with equity and strong civil society. It's all about a great Delaware. So thank you for all your help in building this and making it happen. And thank you again for your ongoing partnerships, your passion, your generosity, and your support. Because eudaimonia is alive and well in Delaware, thanks to you all.